In continuation with this chapter, now let's study another topic, that is centripetal acceleration. Students, earlier we have studied about uniform circular motion. Let's recall it first, that in uniform circular motion, the speed of a particle remains constant. Speed, that is magnitude of a velocity, is same, and velocity and acceleration keeps on changing. Thus we can say that uniform circular motion is an accelerated motion because the velocity is changing with time. Now let's calculate the value of that acceleration. The acceleration which is moving in a uniform circular path is known as centripetal acceleration. Centripetal acceleration. The word centripetal means center seeking. Therefore, it is that acceleration of a body or a particle in uniform circular path, and its direction is always towards the center of that circular path. Now let's calculate its value. Consider a circular path in which a particle is moving. A circular path has a constant radius. Let us suppose a particle is situated at point P from O, and it is moving with velocity v in time t. And as the time passes, it reaches to this position, which is point Q, and now its velocity is v dash at time t plus delta t. That is, after a small time interval delta t, its velocity is v dash. Its radius remains constant, and this is the change in distance denoted by del r, the shortest distance. Now let's draw this triangle again in terms of the velocity of a particle. This velocity v is in this direction, and this is also in this direction. Therefore, the resultant velocity of a particle is del v, v dash v, and this is the origin. Now let's compare these two triangles. We can see that these two triangles are an isosceles triangle as their vertex angle is same, that is, let it be a theta angle. Therefore, the ratio of their two sides will be equal, and let it be denoted as A, B and C. O is equal to A, let it be A, B and C. Now from triangle law of vector addition, we can write the equation of this triangle, that is AB plus BC gives AC. Therefore, BC will be AC minus AB, or as BC is del V, AC is V dash minus AB is V. Therefore, we get this equation for the change of velocity is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity. And the direction of this velocity is direction of del V is towards the center of a circle, in time delta t. Now here we can see that v velocity is tangentially outward. It is making an angle. It is making an angle 90° with radius. It is also making an angle of 90° with radius, and its change is delta v, and its direction is towards the center in time delta t. Now, as we know that average acceleration is equal to change in velocity per unit change in time. That is, now as average acceleration is given as change in velocity of a particle within change in time. And here also the direction of this average acceleration is same as that of delta v, that is towards the center. Now we have calculated the value of delta v, which is equal to v dash minus v in time t plus delta t minus t, that is in delta t time it is equal to v dash minus v upon delta t. Now, as these two triangles are an isosceles triangle, therefore, we can write the ratio of their two sides are equal, that is del V, and if we will find its magnitude, it is in the form del V upon V equal to del R by R. Or we can write magnitude of del V is equal to V del R upon magnitude of R vector, or simply we can write it as V by R del R vector equal to del V. Therefore, again we have calculated the value of change in velocity. Now let's substitute this value in average acceleration. Therefore, average acceleration is equal to del V by del T. Del V is V by R into del R upon del T. This is the final value of average acceleration. Now, as we have calculated the value of average acceleration, therefore, now we can calculate the value of its instantaneous acceleration. That is, for instantaneous acceleration, limit delta t tends to 0. Therefore, When we will apply this limit on average acceleration, we get centripetal acceleration. This is equal to centripetal acceleration, and we are finding its magnitude right now, and it is equal to limit delta t tends to 0, average acceleration magnitude. Now let's substitute the value of average acceleration in terms of limit, that is limit delta t tends to 0 v by r del r by del t. Now v by r is constant, and when limit delta t tends to 0, del r by del t, that is when there is a small change, then this is considered as linear velocity. That is, we will not calculate its average velocity, it is simple linear velocity, that is equal to v as limit delta t tends to 0, del r by del t is equal to v. Therefore, finally, average centripetal acceleration is given as v square by r. Thus, we have derived its value, and its direction is towards the center. Now, let's discuss about angular acceleration. Angular acceleration, it is defined as rate of change of angular velocity. It's a vector quantity and it is denoted by alpha. Now, to find its value, let's recall it that as angular velocity is given as rate of change of angular displacement. Therefore, change in angular velocity with change in time is known as angular acceleration. It is given as alpha as what we have studied in definition. It is equal to rate of change of angular velocity. Now, as omega is d theta by dt, therefore it is equal to d theta by dt. Thus, finally, value of angular acceleration is d square theta by dt square. Unit is radian per second square. Radian has a symbol rad per second square. Now let's find the relation between angular acceleration and linear acceleration. Now, since we know that linear acceleration is rate of change of linear velocity, but linear velocity in terms of angular velocity is what? We have studied it also, that is Linear velocity is r omega. Therefore, on substituting the value over here, we get that's angular acceleration is equal to d by dt r omega. Now here distance is constant, so we will take it out from differentiation and we get A is equal to r d omega by dt. D omega by dt, as we have studied, that it is angular acceleration. Therefore, linear acceleration is equal to r times of angular acceleration, or in terms of direction or in vector form, it is the cross product of angular acceleration and distance of a particle from the axis of rotation. Now let's consider that if the particle is moving with uniform velocity, uniform angular velocity, then if its velocity is constant, therefore angular acceleration will be 0. When particle rotates with uniform angular velocity about an axis, then its angular acceleration is equal to d omega by dt and it is equal to 0. Therefore, angular acceleration will be 0. Thus, when omega is constant, then angular acceleration will be 0. Let's discuss time period. It is denoted by capital T and it is the total time taken by a particle in one complete rotation. Time taken by a particle to complete one rotation. Let's find the relation between angular speed or angular velocity and time period. The formula of angular speed and angular velocity are same, but the difference is in angular speed direction is not given, it has only magnitude, that is angular displacement by time, and in angular velocity there is a direction which is along the axis of rotation, that is known as axial vector. Now let us suppose that a particle has completed one complete rotation in time t. Therefore, its angular velocity is given as complete rotation is angular displacement equal to 2 pi by total time, that is capital T. Now, what is frequency? Frequency is the number of complete rotations completed by particle in 1 second. That is frequency is denoted by nu, and it is the number of rotations completed by particle in 1 second. That is, it is given by 1 by t. Its unit is per second or cycle per second or hertz. Now we can find the relation between angular velocity and frequency, as we can see here that it is equal to 2 pi. 1 by t is nu. Therefore, omega is equal to 2 pi nu. This is the relation between angular velocity and frequency.